Ashe has been under the radar for quite some time now, but with this newly discovered build, she is able to be a powerful carry, and is one of the best comps to play right now if you want to climb. This is a slow roll comp, meaning that we win the game by getting Ashe 3-star, and we also go for 3-star Darius, Morgana, and Zyra as well. We will be slow rolling at level 6 with this board for Ashe 3-star. Here we are running 5 Syndicate to make sure Ashe and the rest of our frontline always has the extra tankiness and healing. And we also run Caitlyn as a sniper to get more damage into our Ashe. Since Braum can be hard to hit at level 6, you can run this board until you are able to get 5 Syndicate in. You will be slow rolling with this board until you hit at least Ashe 3-star, and from there you want to level up to 7 where you will add an Orianna and replace Caitlyn for Jhin if you did not hit him already. At level 8 you will add in Silco for 2 Scholars, or another unit depending on your augments, but more on that in the late game part of the video. Ashe has 2 core items, and they are Last Whisper and IE. Since she exclusively deals AD and has limited backline access within her kit, we need Last Whisper to shred armor of tanks so we can actually get through them. And IE is also core to make sure that we're always critting and shredding armor, while also making sure our spell shreds armor of the entire enemy frontline. This results in both Ashe and the rest of our team getting more AD damage down, which is really important once we get Jhin onto our board as well. The third item for Ashe will depend on the lobby, but some good options are Rage Blade, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, QSS, or Hurricane. We never want a healing item as the third item on her, as we get enough healing through 5 Syndicate. Rage Blade is generally the best option, as it makes her scale incredibly well into the fight. This results in her perma-slowing the attack speed of enemy carries, making it harder for them to get past our own frontline. Giant Slayer is also great if you need to get through high HP targets like 3-star units or bruisers. Deathblade is also fantastic as it scales incredibly well with the crit damage, but it's hard to make as we need 3 swords in total alongside the 2 gloves we already need for Last Whisper and IE. QSS can be good as you can always corner Ashe, and she also gains some attack speed from the item. Hurricane is decent as it allows you to hit multiple targets at a time. The only issue is that this item doesn't scale with our spell. After we have itemized Ashe, we want to itemize either Darius, Braum, or Morgana. Which one you itemize depends on which you're likely to 3-star. They all want generic tank items like Bramble, Warmogs, Declaw, Redemption, and Stoneplate. Morgana can also utilize Morello as it will apply to quite a few frontliners. Other great items in this comp are aura items like Zeke's and Banshee's Claw. Being able to corner Ashe is great, and Zeke's will buff up both Zyra and Jhin, as well as allowing you to get damage split more evenly around your team, and also adds more utility with Zyra's ultimate. If you get a Spatula, you can no longer make Syndicate Spat with set 6.5, and your other options are terrible in this comp, so you just need to pray that you will get another Spatula to make that Tactician's Crown. The best augments to take for this comp are any Backfoot, Bodyguard Heart, Emblem or Soul, Calculated Loss, any Disintegrator, any Electro Charge, Enchanter Heart, Emblem or Soul, any Featherweights, First Aid Kit, One for All, Sniper Heart, Emblem or Soul, Sniper's Nest, Syndicate Heart, Emblem or Soul, Metabolic Accelerator, Portable Forge, Trade Sector, Clockwork Soul Only, Golden Ticket, and Verdant Veil. I mentioned a lot of augments there, and the S tier ones are Backfoot, Electro Charge, Featherweights, First Aid Kit, Sniper Heart, and Sniper's Nest. The carousel priority for this comp is Glove, Bow, Sword, then Tier. Generally, it takes a bit of time for this comp to get online as it really starts to shine once Ashe gets her 3 items and 5 Syndicate into the team. Therefore, we play for a loss streak most of the time in the early game, but if you get enough 2-stars early and good items to slam, you can sometimes win streak as well. The ideal opener for this comp is to have Ashe with 2 snipers already. Some other openers that work are any AD carry with a bodyguard frontline, like Ezreal with Scrap or Talon with Assassins. Once we have our opener, we need to make items, but since both IE and Last Whisper are core items, we do not want to make any items that use up components for those two, meaning we don't slam any items that use Glove, Bow, or Sword. Other items we can make are Bramble, Warmogs, Declaw, Redemption, Stoneplate, and Morello. If you play for a loss streak in the early game, the goal is to go on a 6 loss streak until stage 3-2. If you're win streaking or mixed streaking, the goal is to be level 6 on stage 3-5 with 50 gold or more. Before then, you can level aggressively in the early game if needed. And you can play stage 2 in the early parts of stage 3 as if you were playing any other traditional leveling comp. If you want to learn more about how to play the early game, check out my guide where I go in depth on that subject. After the Krugs round, you should have more direction towards a comp, and the general requirements to play Ashe is to have at least 1 bow for Last Whisper and another component for IE. You also really want to have some of the Syndicates already, as it will make it easier to stabilize at level 6 in the mid game. From there, you will hit level 6 in the mid game at some point, and then once you are at 50 gold, you will start slow rolling at level 6. On stage 3-2, you can level to 6 to either keep the win streak, or if you lost streak during the early game, you can roll at level 6 to stabilize. You generally want to hit the level 6 board or Ashe 2-star with at least 2 snipers and 3 syndicates. Once you are level 6 with 50 gold, we start slow rolling, meaning we roll down to 50 gold every single turn. This is to maximize our odds of hitting 3-star units. Our 3-star priority is Ashe, Morgana, Darius, then Zyra. The reason for Zyra being last in the priority list is because we can't really itemize her, as we need tank items and Ashe items. Therefore, her 3-star impact will be minimal compared to the others. Remember to also hold Jhin and Orianna if you hit them while slow rolling, as we need to replace Caitlyn with Jhin, and Orianna is our level 7 in this comp. By stage 4-1, you will generally need to have at least Ashe 2-star and almost all our other units 2-starred in order to be stable. And by stage 5-1, you will generally need at least Ashe 3-star to be stable. Sometimes if you're healthy, you can greed it, but in general, you can go below 50 gold here in order to hit the 3-star and stabilize. Once you hit Ashe 3-star, you will level up to either 7, 8, or 9 depending on how much HP and gold you have. When you hit level 7, you will add an Orianna for both Clockwork and Enchanter. This will increase Morgana's shield while also giving our entire team more attack speed. Orianna herself also adds valuable utility and CC. At level 8, what your board looks like depends on your augments, but a lot of the time you will just add in Silco if you didn't take any augments that give you additional synergies. If you took +1 bodyguards, add in Leona for 4 bodyguards. If you took +1 snipers, add in MF or Zeri for 4 snipers. If you took +1 syndicate, you can add in Ahri for 7 syndicate, but since she adds no value to our team and will just be a synergy bot, it's better to drop either Darius or Zyra if you didn't 3-star them. Instead, you can add in another enchanter or fit in 4 snipers in that case. If you get contested, what you do depends a little on how you get contested. You can get contested by somebody else trying to play the same comp, or you can get partially contested by people playing your units in other comps. If you get partially contested, it will often be people playing Syndicate Ahri or in Enchanter comps where they reroll for Morgana 3-star. In that case, you will generally avoid going for Morgana 3-star and instead just focus on Ashe, Darius, and Zyra. If you get contested by another reroll Ashe player, things are not looking great. You have 2 options. The first one is to use Ahri as the item carrier and then pivot into another AD comp like Sniper Jhin or VIP Draven. The other option is to contest, but know that you will most likely go 7th or 8th if you do this. To do this, you need to be farther ahead than your contester, and you also need to constantly be checking how close the other player is to hitting Ashe 3-star. If he's starting to get close, you have to roll down in order to hit before them. General positioning with this comp looks like this. We have Darius on the outskirt of our frontline to make as many units as possible funnel around him to give him a massive ult healing him up as much as possible. Morgana is next to him in the frontline to CC as many other units as well. You want Silco to buff up Morgana and Braum to make them cast quicker, as their spells have a large impact in all fights. Ashe wants to be cornered if possible, but unless you have Banshee's Claw or you can scout, corner Jhin instead. Now moving on to some in-depth positioning examples. Against the first guy, the big threat is Talon. Darius is dead center to heal up as much as possible from the enemy tanks. This also funnels the enemy Braumholt away from our own backline. Zyra is acting as Talon bait, Morgana is backline to help CC the assassins jumping over. Ashe will be fine taking some damage from the other assassins as she has 5 syndicate, but we still keep other units close to split the aggro away from just Ashe. Against the second guy, the big threat is Seraphine and Jace. Ashe and Jhin are away from Seraphine's ult path to make sure they don't get hit by Morello and also stay safe. Braum is lined up to ult towards the enemy backline. He won't hit Seraphine from this angle, but we need him in that hex to guarantee that he will ult Singed. Silco is buffing up Morgana and Braum to make sure that they cast before they potentially get tossed away by Singed. We also make sure that the enemy backline is in range of hitting our frontline. This way they will stay in position and Zyra will ult the entire enemy backline with her CC. Against the third guy, the big threat is Renata. Morgana is positioned to CC Renata. Braum is positioned to hopefully ult Tahm Kench so his spell hits Renata as well. Darius is positioned a little towards the right side to catch the other bruisers to make sure they don't walk down to our backline. And also for Zyra to get more value from her ult, as they all will stay in the front row except for Alawi. Our snipers are on the opposite side of Renata to hopefully not get hit by their spell. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 7,000 other players there who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care and see you in the next video.